welcome to ObiDatti Family Television, and this is ObiDatti Updates. This morning, on this program, we're going to be looking at a range of things that's happened on the campaign train. I don't do this alone. I have the most beautiful and delectable and amazing co-host Joy here with me, and my name is King Kempsey. Joy, how are you doing?
I'm good. Good morning, Kamsi.
Okay, so before we go straight into discussing what happened in Borno,
Okay.
let's talk with one of the most seasoned social commentators and also a man that is the founder of African Uncensored and also a pan-Africanist,
Pan-Africanist,
Mr.
Mr.
Innocent
Innocent
Magaji.
Magaji.
Mr. Innocent, how
Mr.
are you
Innocent,
doing?
how are you
Good
doing?
morning.
Good morning.
Morning. I'm happy to be with you. Morning.
Yeah, so moving straight ahead, you're welcome to ObiDatti Family Television. Right now, we want to take a scope into what Mr. Obi's campaign is looking like around Africa. Could you let us in on that?
Yes, I will start by this. Let me just, okay, I don't know if I'm allowed to answer this question, but I'm not quite sure. Many people saw this movement coming. A lot of people didn't see this as a movement. And I keep saying it. This obedient movement is something that is bigger than Peter Obi himself as a candidate, as a presidential candidate. So it is a movement, it is an unconscious movement for against mediocrity in the mind of many Nigerians and many Africans. In short, this movement has transcended Nigeria. I've seen coming from South Africa, I've seen coming from Ghana, a lot of people are saying, please, Nigeria, get it right this time around. Because when you get it right, other African countries follow suit. So I think ObiDatti movement is no longer a political movement, it's a socio-cultural revolution. This is what I think about this movement.
Okay, so the voter education is most important in a time like this, and it's critical for the movement. Do you think that the Nigerians are ready in terms of this election? Looking at the fact that you've spoken about is not something that they saw coming, and now they've seen it. Is the acceptance there?
I would like to, can you rephrase the question so that,
Okay,
let me get it.
let me rephrase.
Okay.
I'm picking words from you. You said it's a movement that they didn't see coming. No one saw it coming, but it's here. So what is the acceptance level in your evaluation?
The acceptance levels in Nigeria globally or just within Africa as it is?
In the Nigerian space,
Okay, you see, within the Nigerian space, this is a very short movement that just started, and many people started saying, oh, it's just online, that there are 4 people in a particular room just tweeting online, Then the debate moved from online to, it was just a social media hype and it will stop. But you have seen where we have come to. The movement, is it just 6-month-old movement? And it's all over. I myself, for example, I can speak for the middle belt of Nigeria because that's where I come from. And I not ever voted in her life. She has never voted. She's an aged woman, but she has decided to participate in this vote. And what does that mean for an average Nigerian? This means that there is an awakening, there's a consciousness, there is this zeal that is coming out from people and they are willing to participate in the system. So I think people have accepted it. They understand the essence. If you ask them something, they cannot even explain why, but they will tell you that we know that this is something positive that is coming. And I will explain to you briefly before I help. Because this is almost like a counter movement against the status quo. We have the normal status quo that we have been experiencing since 1999, and now it hasn't yielded any positive results. So the people are saying, oh, look, this is something new. This is something that will unify our country. let us try this young, vibrant movement. A lot of people, if you ask them, why are you into this? They will tell you, they may not probably be very eloquent about why they're into it, but they will take that, look, this is something new. This is something refreshing. So I think the movement is catching fire for something that just started recently. We have to give credit to this movement.
Okay, let me pick you from there, Mr. Innocent. It's like you said, it's catching fire. And we cannot deny that this is something that we have never seen before. But to you, in your assessment, what do you think is going to be the reaction of this movement on the electoral space in Africa generally? What is it going to translate to in the general space of elections in the way election is being run, down to the kind of candidates that have been presented? What do you think is going to be the ripple effect to this on the larger electoral space in Africa?
You see, Nigeria as a country is anything that happens in Nigeria affects other African countries, either positively or negatively. We have seen this effect on and on. Nigeria as a country exerts this socio-cultural influence among all the African countries. More also, we have a very vibrant, we have a very massive population. So whatever happens in Nigeria, for example, there's this socio-cultural movement that is going on right now that people think is about music, Afrobeat, you know, but we get the entire continent singing, and it's now paying attention to Africa because of a sociocultural movement that is started in Nigeria through music. Now, what we are experiencing is another political sociocultural movement that is coming from politics. So what will happen is that hope will come back and young Africa will start saying like, whoa, so we can take on the system. I tell you, election can happen in Kenya, nothing will happen. It can happen in South Africa, it can happen in Egypt, Uganda, Rwanda, nothing will happen, or Senegal even. But in Nigeria, if it happens, it shakes the entire continent. Why? Because the leader that we elect decide whether people will immigrate from Nigeria to certain other country and start committing crime or contribute positively. So people are paying attention to anything that happens in Nigeria, and that is going to be the effect. Now, what I think is going to happen is this, and this is my final point, because Peter Obi inspire positivity, he inspire hope for the Nigerian communities. What I see is that as soon as he gets elected, Nigerians are going to be hopeful. There's going to be this positive movement, and it's going to reverberate all over the continent, and people are going to feel it. So I think the other countries will start seeing that there's hope coming back, you know, for Africa, for Nigerians, and that's how it's going to be.
Definitely, just like you said, Nigeria has been known to be great influencers of the general space in Africa, both politically and even the socio-cultural movement, like you stated. But I want us to, you know, take a look at where it all started from. And it all started from being tired of the current status quo, what has been going on. The political awakening in Nigeria is on a different level at this time. And just like you correctly stated, is going to affect. But now the quality of leaders are what we are looking at. We need leaders that can understand the plight of the people and are competent enough to handle the plight of the people and give them solutions to those problems. Because every problem needs a solution. You know, so I want to look at the P2B ambition right now. Solution is the backing of the awakening, really. In all of Africa, are you trying to tell us that there's going to be an awakening right now in terms of the quality of leaders that are being selected? Because we've seen, take for instance, what is happening in South Sudan. Or we speak about Paul Biya of Cameroon, we were seeing those kind of leaders, the quality of leadership there. So are you saying that it's going to bring about a change in terms of the quality of leaders in those countries, or in every other country in Africa?
Yes, it will, because beyond competence and ability to lead and to govern. Something that Peter will bring is the ability to connect to the public, to connect to the average man. This is what I call accessibility for the people. And this is what people need. People need to feel connected to their leaders. They need that charisma. They need to know that, look, a few days ago, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Go and check on the page of Peter Obi. He tweeted a number that you can access via campaign, table any complaint, make suggestion. This is what the people need. And he visited an IDP camp in Benue State. During the Christmas, he was going around meeting people on the street and making sure that they are fine. And this is what the people are looking for. And this is what his leadership will inspire around Africa beyond competence, beyond leadership, access and connectivity to the people. The people need to feel connected to the power. They need to feel represented. So I think beyond all that, there are competent leaders in Africa. I can make mention of Paul Kagame, which is debatable. For example, he's very efficient, but it's not accessible to his people. So there are other leaders who are also trying to, they are showing their competence, but Peter Obi brings a flavor that is completely different. And this is why his leadership is very, very interesting around Africa.
I'll take you, back, but still within the same scope. In Nigeria, the political class, what do you think this movement has done to the political class? Has it only just threatened them, or it has even made them want to be better and sit up? Has this movement brought about a readjustment in the political, class that we have in Nigeria?
Yes, you see, this movement, I can tell you that a lot of people, I don't know, I'm just trying to choose my word carefully, that this thing is capable of sending politicians into, I don't know, some kind of state of hibernation or something. You will try to understand that, whoa, it's like something you're not expecting, boom, and then it hits you. They didn't see this coming, like I said earlier. And it is almost incredible that an individual can come without any structure, as they say. You have, okay, let me give you one example. Right now, as I'm talking to you, all the political parties, the PDP, the APCs are going around. They have structure. There are people under their payroll that are mobilizing people on the grassroots. They have to, stimulate the people, stimulate them and say, look, come and do this. But the ObiDatti movement is not like that. It's organic. You don't need anybody to come and stimulate you. Auto stimulation, you stimulate yourself because you know the urgency that you need. And the politicians are watching. They're like, whoa, this is something that we are not expecting. Some of them are even envious of this movement. They wish they could have that organic support. That is what they need. So I think it's going to send a very serious shockwave in the mind of all the political class, and because they are not used to this thing. There are games in this politics. They play a lot of games, which I would not like to go into. But there are so many rules.
Here's my question: even with the shock waves is sending to them, is it ending at just shock waves, or would it make them even sit up in terms of leadership, the quality of leadership that they churn out to the everyday Nigerian? Would it just be them being threatened and it ends at them being threatened? Or would they even want to be better people when they've seen that finally people are awake now and will not want any less from the best?
Yes, it will force leaders to be awake and it will force them to take proper decision to improve the community, because the people are getting tired. Honestly, the people are getting tired, and it will force them. Eventually, it will force them. But this is the problem we had in 2015 when Buhari was coming up. We were expecting that. We said that any leader that's going to take over has a lot of responsibility to show that on. Now Nigeria needs emergency, and they are feeling, starting from inside, they are feeling the heat that is coming from the people. So I think this movement, beyond anything, is going to be like a coal of fire under the feet of any person, any leader that will come up eventually. Is going to be like, oh, bring solution, give us light, give us a good economy, give us this thing. Don't do it. you'll be in trouble. So I think this is what this movement is all about.
Okay, Mr. Innocent Magaji, thank you so much. We have a lot to talk about. I also want to look deeply into Peter Obi's manifesto. Just pick one or two from it, and let's have an update on that from you and what you think would be a better part of it. But I want you to hold. When we get back from the break, we'll complete the discussion in a wrap. We're going to a quick break. So please hold the thoughts for me. Right now, if you're sitting on the other side watching us from your home, from the comfort of your home or your office, or even in your vehicle, wherever you are, this is ObiDatti Family Television, and this is ObiDatti Updates. I am here with Joy and also with Mr. Innocent Magaji. We want to go on a quick break, and when we get back, we'll complete this discussion. Please don't go anywhere.
Labour Party, Labour Party, Labour Party, Labour Party, Labour Party, can you get a vote? Labour Party, Labour Party, Labour Party, can you get a vote? Labour Party, Labour Party, Labour say, Mama Papa na Labour Party, Mama Papa na Labour say, Mama Papa na Labour Party, Mama Papa na Labour Party.
Mr. Peter Obi's administration built from scratch Chukwuemeka Odumegwu University Teaching Hospital with 25 building structures. His government funded transformation of massive infrastructural development, accreditation of 12 health institutions and 2 hospitals, and also built 10 maternal and childcare centers across the state. He is the first governor to purchase medical equipment worth over 135 million naira and 50 ambulances for the health sector in Anambra State, which remain functional till today. He built and equipped Dr. Jonwilo Heart Center in St. Joseph Hospital, Adazinnuku, where heart operations are performed. Anambra State is the first state in Nigeria to distribute more than 30,000 computers to secondary schools. Mr. Peter Obi distributed about 700 buses to secondary schools in Anambra State and built 200 primary school blocks. He donated the sum of 300 million naira to Anglican churches and 440 million naira to Roman Catholic churches to rehabilitate their missionary schools. During his tenure, he gave 1 million naira each to more than 160 first-class graduates. To promote reading culture in the state, he went ahead to build a well-equipped library known as Prof. Kennedy Dike Library, Oka. He also rehabilitated the divisional library in Onitsha and gave 500,000 naira to each secondary school in the state to provide library materials. This boosted the student performance from the 26th position in Nigeria to the first position. The security improvement was exceptional as he provided.
Okay, you're welcome back to ObiDatti Family TV, and this is still ObiDatti Updates. I still have Mr. Innocent Magaji with me here, who is a social commentator, a Pan-Africanist, and also the champion and the founder of Africa Uncensored. Okay, so Mr. Innocent, quickly, I said when we get back, we're going to be looking into the manifesto of Mr. Peter Obi and pick 1 or 2 points from there. So you could give me your view on it. A lot of people have, argued widely on the major points of, which is also one of the first points on the manifesto, which is securing the country, the security of the country, which is one of the major plans of Mr. Peter Obi. And being that you stated already that you're from the Middle Belt, which is one of the parts of the country, every part of the country is affected by insecurity, but the Middle Belt is one of the parts that, has had one of the heaviest blows when it comes to insecurity, because people have even been displaced from their villages and their hometowns there. So give me your quick thoughts and maybe throw more light on why every Nigerian should look at the direction of Peter Obi because of security.
Now, if you read the manifesto, this is what people do not pay attention to. It's very important that people understand what he has been saying. I see a lot of critics, but when you want to address insecurity, there are 2 ways you can address it. There's the kinetic and the non-kinetic solution to fixing insecurities in Nigeria. Now, the kinetic solution involves armament, it involves direct confrontation, it involves killing, it involves murder, it involves neutralization of all these agents that are trying to destabilize the country, which is perfect. It also involves buying of arms and ammunition, something that I'll be honest with you, I give the Buhari administration credit for that. But there is the non-kinetic method that can be fixed, and which is, first of all, as a father, if you have a child, or as a mother, there's nothing that is as frustrating and heartbreaking for you to sleep and be thinking of what your child will eat the next day.
Exactly.
When you think about that, you'll be forced to look for solution. And once you look around, there's nothing you can do. What you resort to is crime. And crime, for example, poverty and desperation can push people to, first of all, commit crime. It can push people to seek for agitation. They don't want to be a part of a system that is failed. It can push people to go into armed robbery, kidnapping, stealing, ritual money, and all that. And that is what Peter Obi has been saying for a very long time. And people think it's something that is as simple as that, but they don't know that this is the root cause of every insecurity. If you have a normal job that is doing you, why would you go into kidnapping? If you have something that is occupying your mind. And there's something he also mentioned. There's also something he mentioned, not in that particular manifesto, but something he said, trying to explain in an interview he had. I cannot remember the date, but he said something about getting the youth busy. He said, get them using entertainment, sport, and all that. Get them engaged in the community. Let them feel more. Engage in their mind, because idle minds become dangerous. So that is what he said, how we can say. Now, my origin is seriously affected. Benue State, Nasarawa State, Plateau State, we suffer. Southern Kaduna, for example, we suffer from this serious issue. People are being displaced, have been killed. My family have been affected. We have to move from Plateau State down to Nasarawa State. Is still being affected. We have headers, clashes, and all that. Now, he suggested that there's going to be a negotiation. There's going to be a talk with all these agents involved in this instabilities. What is the issue? What do you want? Do you want schools for your kids? Do you want hospitals for your kids? Do you want education? Do you want access to job and all that? And that is the angle that many people are not seeing. You know, people think, just kill these people, just attack them and everything will be solved. The main issue is still on the ground. You know, it has to be solved.
Okay. Also, another point from the manifesto, which is a widely celebrated phrase, consumption to production, as it affects Africa generally. You know, we're seeing a lot of African countries run into debt because of the way money is borrowed and not used to create avenues where more money can be made. Rather, money is made for just the usual sharing formula, or borrowed rather for just the usual sharing formula, where, you know, people just, you know, dip their hands into the coffers of what was borrowed and, you know, spend it on personal ambitions. So just give us a general outlook on what consumption to production will be like quickly in just very few.
You know, I was just this morning, I was studying something about Ghana, the issue that Ghana is having with the EU, how the cocoa market is worth $100 billion, but Ghana is having only 6% of that amount of money, which I think 2.something billion, the entire West Africa. And Ghana has decided that, look, we will not export raw material. We want it to be processed here, added value to it. And guess what happened? Ghana is being punished for that. But there is something interesting that is going on. Aside Ghana being punished, the EU have turned to Nigeria. They have now bypass Ghana. Since Ghana is asking them to come and process this product, they bypass Ghana, they bypass Ivory Coast, and through on the port in Calabar, the cocoa production has surged in Nigeria. We see exportation has increased. And we started asking ourselves, right now, they are now bypassing Ghana. They want to punish Ghana by going to Nigeria. Now, Peter Obi is going to be another obstacle to them, because he's saying that, look, let us add value to some of these things instead of exporting them raw. Because what Nigeria is doing right now is exporting raw product by not being processed. So he is saying that, look, let us insist on processing them. Let us insist on not just importation, but let us start to produce these things, rightly, locally at environment. So this is something that I think it is interesting to look into, because nobody was paying attention to this when these people are bypassing Ghana. And now they're even punishing Ghanaian currency. And this is what is going on in Africa. So we need to go from production to consumption, because there is no way we can create employment if we don't do all these things.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Innocent Magaji. I will want to address you as one with wealth of knowledge, and you seem to have a very wonderful take on everything. We'd love to have you, some other time on the show, so you could keep us abreast with some of the other questions that a lot of obedients who are watching right now might have concerning the forthcoming election in 2023. So thank you so much for joining us. We want to go on a quick break and we have to let you go right now, but thank you so much. We're sure you're doing the good work of Mr. Peter Obi at wherever you are, and Nigerians are saying thank you. Our principal, Mr. Peter Obi, is grateful. His running mate, ObiDatti Baba Ahmed, is grateful. And we here from the studios, we are grateful. Thank you so much. And we'll have you some other time, but we have to let you go now. Dear viewers, please go on a quick break. And when we get back, myself and Joy will be dissecting some of the updates. Remember, Mr. Peter Obi was in Borno over the weekend. It was an amazing show of love from the people of Borno State. You need to see what happened there. But when we get back, we'll let you in on more of that. Please don't go nowhere. Keep it right here on ObiDatti Family Television.
And taxes for Anis Mass Transit Company. He adopted the best practice in waste disposal and provided over 300 million naira worth of waste evacuation trucks. The Debt Management Office rated Anambra as the least indebted state in Nigeria. Mr. Peter Obi handed 75 billion naira to his successor, Mr. Willie Obiano. The credibility and reputation of Peter Obi as a competent visionary leader in public service governance and management of state resources remains undisputable.
Be that they vote for, they'll go vote for another person. So what will they try do now? They try teach people, show people say now the logo be this. So that the way you want vote, when you reach there, you will see one will be umbrella, not be for Peter Obi. You'll see one will be broom, not be for Peter Obi. Now this one will Papa, Mama, Pikin, Day, and that will be Peter Obi. So when you want vote, you come press that ink they'll put for your hand. You come put her for where this picture they so now you go put her. That's why you take vote for Peter Obi. So if you see Labour Party logo now, you know what they are. I don't know because of this. And the picture of so on the day of the election, you'll put your hand for where that picture, you'll make it not process another person.
can you do this? How can you prevent election rigging at your polling unit on election day? We share a few tips with you. So 1, show up early at your polling unit on election day. If you show up early, it's one way to stop election rigging because it gives you an opportunity to observe every activity at your polling unit. Now, this will enable you cross-check the following sensitive materials. You've got to shine your eyes and ensure that these materials are available at your polling unit. 1 is the ballot papers, 2, result sheets, 3, the BVAS device. Now, before accreditation and voting begins, ensure you verify that the BVAS has 0 figure for accreditation. Next, after accreditation and voting, remain at the polling unit to watch the process until ballot papers are counted. Closely monitor the ballot counting process and ensure the results are recorded on the original form, and it's the form EC8A for the polling unit. Then you need to ensure the INEC official takes a photo of the authentic results for that polling unit using the BVAS only. Only the BVAS should be used to take image of the result sheet. Now, once the photo of the result sheet is taken, closely watch to ensure the INEC official uploads the results on the INEC election results viewing portal using the BVAS. Now, where there is no network to transmit the results at the polling unit, we encourage you to accompany the INEC official with the BVAS to any location with network and verify the result is transmitted electronically. Lastly, you request that the INEC official post the polling unit's results at the polling unit using the form EC60E. Every polling official is required to post the results of that polling unit at the polling unit. If possible, after all this, you can accompany the INEC officials and the electoral materials to the Ward Collation Center to monitor the ward level collation of results within your particular ward. And please feel free to take pictures and videos of activities at the polling units because the law provides that you can, whether party agents take video recordings of political activities. And we encourage you can share these videos and pictures on social media and tag INEC Nigeria, tag YAGA on Twitter or on Facebook or Instagram, or use the hashtag Nigeria Decides 2023 or the hashtag Watching the Vote.
Welcome back to ObiDatti Update on ObiDatti Family TV. I am Joy, and with me is King Kamsi. And over the week, we saw Peter Obi in Borno State. It was in a rally, and it said that other parties has failed, making it necessary for Nigerians to try the Labour Party for a possible Nigeria. He said, "We want you to hold us responsible." Like we said earlier on this morning, one of our shows, we said that before now, the APC and the PDP have been the one piloting the affairs of the country, and they have failed us wholly, completely in all aspects. So I think it's a good thing. It's a good idea to try Labour Party. Don't you think so?
I think so. It's a good idea to, when you take a wusi for long, and every time you take a wusi, you're visiting the loo, and you decide to change to Obono, and Obono is still taking you to the loo. Why not try and Salah,
Yeah.
or something different?
Exactly.
But that's on a lighter note. We also noticed that over the weekend we had our principal, Mr. Peter Obi, in Rivers State, and where he met this young lady who's passionate for a new Nigeria, just like you and I and every other person out there. And that young lady made a donation, a young lady by name Chizzy Ebube. Balogun, and she's a secondary school student in SS2, and she made a donation, which our principal described as an investment in her future and for the future of our contemporaries and even the generations yet unborn. And also he called her an example of social consciousness, or in social consciousness rather. So a lot of people need to key into this and understand that if a young girl like this in SS2, I don't know if I had any trade while I was in SS2 to be able to donate money, but then a young lady like this who was able to donate funds to the campaign shows that everybody wants a new Nigeria.
Exactly.
No matter how old or young, everybody wants a new possible Nigeria that could favor yourself and myself without nepotism and any of those jargons that come in between.
Exactly.
And also quickly, we just want to speak to our people in Jigawa State. Our principal, Mr. Peter Obi, is going to be in Jigawa State today. He's already there. The rally is going, and we hope that people in Jigawa State come out in their numbers, just like every other state has been making answers to the clarion call. And the amazing thing is, like, unlike every other party that wants that has to fuel the campaign with money, their rallies with money and paying people to come out in their numbers, Mr. P2B and the Labour Party and his running mate, Yusuf Dati Baba Ahmed, has not, they don't have to pay people to come out, It's strictly the love of Nigerians towards them. Yes. So please, if you're in Jigawa State, please make your way to the Filin Samba behind the sport complex in Duse, Jigawa. So please make your way there. He's going to be there. The campaign train is finally in Jigawa. He wants to speak to the people of Jigawa. Go out and hear those bright ideas that are going to change Nigeria for good. Okay, so that's the most we can take on the ObiDatti updates this morning. Please, if you're an obedient out there, you own a support group, you're doing good for Mr. Peter Obi, please, we want to hear from you. We want to speak with you right here on the show. All you need to do is to reach out to us on all of our social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. We have a WhatsApp number, which is easier access, where you could, send videos of all you're doing, how you're mobilizing, how you're speaking to people, and your ideas. Tell us you want to come on, and we're going to bring you on so we could discuss matters with us, wonderful matters as pertaining to the campaign of Mr. Peter Obi and Yusuf Dati Baba Ahmed. A new Nigeria is possible. And on this note, thank you for tuning into this edition of ObiDatti Updates. We hope to see you tomorrow, same time, same place, with these beautiful faces.
We love you, but God loves you more.